giant multinational corporations who control virtually all 14,000 radio stations in America, all 5,000 television stations, 80% of our newspapers, all of our billboards, and most of the large internet content providers. So there are five guys who are deciding what we hear as news and information. 11% of Americans now read papers, where you still can get some relevant news occasionally, but the rest of us get our news primarily from the traditional corporate-owned media, which have no ideology except for their own pocketbooks.
America forms its opinions by information is provided to them. And common sense will tell you that if the information that you get from your mainstream media is misinformation or disinformation or even a lie, then common sense will tell you that the opinion is an extension of the lie. Now, unfortunately, America, and indeed the rest of the world, is getting information that's being massaged, it's being spun, it's being prepared for them for consumption. We say we've got freedom of press in this country, and some folks have said that you've got freedom of press as long as you own it. Well, who owns the media? And when I say that, I mean it not literally, but as far as who controls the information that goes out in the media. An example, NBC is owned by General Electric, and General Electric is one of the top 10, if not top 5 defense contractors. Is NBC going to expose a news story that might in some way impede a contract negotiation, which can mean a lot of money for General Electric? I don't think so. So the point here is that we have elected officials, both Republicans and Demopublicans, that cater to who? Certainly not the common people. We don't have the huge amounts of money to contribute to their election campaigns. The people that contribute the most amount of money are the corporations. And so that representative or senator is going to do what is going to be in the best interest of those corporations. So if the corporations are controlling and influencing our elected officials, we must also take a look at the mainstream media. Who pays the bulk of the advertising dollars that keep the mainstream network news going? It's the major corporations. So what we have now is we have corporate control of elected officials, corporate control of the media, and this is why some people are now calling it the corporate Borg, because they have assimilated several different areas of our entire society. The corporations control agriculture, technology, manufacturing, industry, education, communication. They control our elected officials. This is not a government of, by, and for the people. It is a government of, by, and for the corporations. And by definition, when business controls government, that is inescapably fascism.
Most of the profits that people have in real estate are going to vanish, just like the profits in the dot-coms in 1999-2000. It's a fantasy. People can't sell their house. The inventories are exploding all over the country. Houses are on the market for 6 months a year. There's no bidders. The prices are going to fall through the floor.
This devolution of the American press began in 1988 when Ronald Reagan abolished the Fairness Doctrine.
We were stunned because up until that point we were allowed to do legitimate news, and suddenly we were ordered from the top to carry propaganda, carry Republican right-wing propaganda.
The Iraqi regime continues to possess and conceal some of the most lethal weapons ever devised.
We will in fact find weapons.
We know where they are. They're in the area around Tikrit and Baghdad.
And we believe he has in fact reconstituted nuclear weapons.
The regime is seeking a nuclear bomb.
I don't know anybody that I can think of who has contended that the Iraqis had nuclear weapons.
Of course, it was information that was mistaken. To starting up another 9/11 commission to investigate whether or not the United States was involved in it, which is just ridiculous, first of all, and doesn't the Congress have anything better to do than be investigating something that I don't really think is that much in question?
There
there's like all these 9/11 truther people, and they're saying that 9/11 was an inside job because we were attacked by like 19 terrorists that took over our country with like box cutters, and the United States didn't even, you know, send up one F-16. But, well, I got news for you people, okay, because I saw on ABC and CBS and NBC and Fox and CNBC and CNN and all these other news stations that that's not the case, okay? Some terrorists attacked us, and it was bin Laden, okay? And I have to believe my news stations because they know what's going on. They do. They really know what's going on, and I'm going to believe them over you any day.
Evans, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Bill, if you are so concerned about public figures being bad role models for children, please stop rudely interrupting your guests and telling them to shut up. Well, the shut up line has happened only once in 6 years, Miss Evans.
Well, you know, I think that asking a student to stay in the closet in order to go to school is a lot like asking an African-American student to...
Want to know what I was doing?
Shut up.
Please don't tell me to shut up.
As respect. Why did you have to tell him you were an atheist if you didn't have any trouble reading the oath? Why didn't you just shut up? What Jimmy Carter should do is privately give Mr. Bush his opinion and shut up publicly. That would be best for the country. And it is our duty as loyal Americans to shut up once the fighting begins. Once the war against Saddam begins, we expect every American to support our military, and if they can't do that, to shut up.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
What is Fox News? It's just a parade of propaganda, isn't it? It's just a festival of ignorance. What? Why 1 million people are dead in Iraq? Come on, this is ridiculous. What's the point of this? This is insane.
Well, I love
people
Fox
at home,
News.
go outside. Go hug
Lee,
your children.
you should be more...
Well, Fox
you should be
News
more
will be...
worried.
Love your family, you know.
And you get all the news
Hillary
at Fox. You
Clinton
get
is running,
all the news you
and-
can at Fox News.
The conscious mind is the creative mind. It's the one that has your personal identity into it. It does the real thinking. And then there's a subconscious mind. Well, there's no entity in it. The subconscious mind is the equivalent of a tape player. It records behaviors, and then at the push of a button plays a behavior. It's automatic. It's a very convenient thing because then we don't have to relearn all the time. Once you know it, you can make a pattern. The problem is that the basic patterns of belief and behavior that are programmed in the subconscious mind came from our teachers, primarily our parents, our family, and our community.
So most people don't even understand how easily we're influenced by our environment. Every person that we encounter, every single situation that we're faced with, every little word that's said on television may not seem too influential to our conscious minds, but your unconscious is designed specifically to let every environmental signal influence you without your awareness. So the question is, are we leading conscious or unconscious lives?
And now neuroscience has told us in the unfolding of our lives, only 5% of our life is controlled by our conscious mind, and 95% of the time controlled by the subconscious with programs from other people that were installed in there. And the problem is, it means when those programs are playing, we don't see them.